30 seconds into the first lap, I'm already out of breath.
It's been a while. The reason for this hiatus was Bill Gates, Microsoft, held me against my will, told me to download Windows 11, completely crapped out my computer, thing became useless for a good couple weeks. Got it looked at, fixed, and now it's running like butter.
Smooth like butter.
I have a bunch of content I'm sitting on now and looking to get that out as soon as possible. This video is going to be our pre-ride from Barrie's O Cup, happening out of Horseshoe Resort, and we'll get right into this pre-ride. Mind you, it was horrible.
Some golfers.
A couple things I learned from this pre-ride is 1, I am severely out of shape, and 2, golfing and mountain biking are very alike. Both sports enjoy the great outdoors, both cost way too much money, and for both, the predominant demographic is old white men. But back to point 1 on what I learned from this pre-ride is that I am severely out of shape. You know, this first climb that I did here was super steep, super long, had 2 parts to it where you thought it was over and then it's not. And during this climb, I was like, oh yeah, things are good. This is gonna be good. I was dying, my breath was way out of control. And then the first crash of the day started nice and early, still figuring out these rock gardens. This race would have been about 3 weeks ago, so I feel like I've conquered them since then, but here, still showing me some troubles, end up base in the dirt. And then we get to this climb here. The GoPro does not do it justice.
What the f?
It's way steeper than it actually looks, and I'm not just saying that to save face. I'm kind of airing out my dirty laundry even in making this video as far as how good of a rider I am. This climb was horrible. Not only was it steep, but the dirt itself was loose as it could be. So every pedal stroke you were losing grip, losing traction if you didn't have that perfect body positioning, and I ended up having to do the walk of shame. And doing this walk up, I was just thinking about how this was going to go on race day. Was I going to be able to fix things up by the time the race comes around?
What did I sign up for?
And the crotch cam. This is the first use of the crotch cam.
First use of the crotch cam ever in the history of the Rozie Rides channel. And we'll see how this goes.
Extremely short-lived, as a crash ended up breaking the mount that I use for crotch cam, so it's fun while it lasted. Don't think it'll be back to the channel. And then there was Niagara Falls out on the mountain biking course, and during that time met a cool hiker.
Another what? Oh yeah. Enjoy.
It's not too often you meet cool hikers on the trail. Usually they're typically pissed that you're taking up space and whatnot. So it's always great to have some, you know, positive hikers when you're out riding your bike. And there's some flowy sections here that I really enjoyed on the course.
Nice move.
Gave the legs a break, and I was descending them pretty well relative to how we were earlier on in the season. So technical skills are here, but as I don't have the time with my 9-to-5 job, to spend time training on the bike like the 3 to 4 hours I was early in spring, it's showing here. And yeah, this course was filled with massive spills for me. Only a few I actually caught on camera, but this was one of them. Pine needles provided a nice softball. This was one of the lighter ones of the day, believe it or not. And crotch cam there giving you some other footage. So here, I did 2 laps of the pre-ride and realized how screwed I am for tomorrow's race. Of course, I didn't buy the insurance package. If you call in sick, you get your money back. So I'm forced to race this despite being way out of shape. And yeah, I'm thinking about life, contemplating what led me to this point in my life, and just kind of reflecting. We're thinking deep here. Thinking about the inevitable. After a couple of rice cakes though, I get right back to it, and this part of the trail was probably my favorite portion. It was a really flowy downhill with some nice berms on it. And this was the first time I rode a section like this that I was able to get this much speed without actually pedaling through it. And this opened my eyes to downhill biking. I think cross-country mountain biking might be dead for me in the next couple years, because this was such a great feeling riding this descent. Getting so much speed, it was like something I never felt before on a bike. So it really opened my eyes, especially next summer. I don't know if I'll have the time this summer to really hit some downhill courses like out in Barrie and other parts of northern Ontario, but this specifically was nuts and I had such a great time doing it. While I had fun on that part, fun stopped pretty quick, getting down to some single track descents, and I end up flying over the bars. Tough bounce, collarbone's still intact, thankfully.
Over the bars, eating dirt. Oh.
But yeah, this took me a second to get up from. I find if you ever crash on your bike, get up as fast as possible and just shake it off. Not a doctor, don't actually take this advice, but I find it works best. Has kept my injuries down to absolute minimal and have been doing pretty well this season as far as maintaining health. Yeah, my legs were cooked. I had no engine. I also haven't been on the bike like 2-3 weeks prior to this actual pre-ride, just getting caught up in work. Shit excuse, but the reality is if you don't make the time, you won't get the time, and that's just what happened leading up to this race. And for the actual race itself, we'll go through it and we'll see the result. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching till the end, guys. If you like this content and want to see more of it, leave a like, comment down below. Let me know about your first race experience, if racing something you want to try, how shit I did on this track. Just leave it down below in the comments. Subscribe with notifications on so you can see more content like this, and keep an eye out for our next video going over the full race from Horseshoe Valley, Hockley Valley? Horseshoe, whatever. It's a resort in Barrie that the O Cup was at. I raced it. See the race in the next video. Take care.